Um, this is a class for a beginner guitar player. If you're a beginner guitar player, these are the things that you have to do first. Okay, so this class is for you. Now, the first thing to do, okay, as a beginner guitar player is to pick up a guitar. This is acoustic or box guitar. It's box guitar. Okay. It comes in sizes. And after picking up a guitar, the next thing to do is to know your guitar parts. This is very, very important. Guitar parts. Okay. So now let's go into that. Now, this is the box. This is the second. The third thing are strings. And this is your fretboard. Okay. While the iron here are called frets. Now, the spaces here are called fret spaces. These are the things to note. It's very, very important. Note it. Fret spaces. Okay. So you now coming here, you have knots here. You have your tuning machines or tuning peg. There are 6 here. Okay. So, and then this is fretboard. All right. After knowing that, keep all those things, memorize them. Okay, because you are going to use it in due course. The sound that is organized and present to hearing, that is music, as simple as that. Now, music takes some letters. Okay, they are using 7 letters to represent music. So, and the letters are A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, which you may hear of keys. Okay, so the letters are A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Now, this A, B, C, D, E, F, G, they designate notes, musical notes to it. C is Do, D is Re, E is Mi, F is Fa, G is So, A is La, B is T. So you have to take note of that. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, or C, D, E, F, G, A, B, which is Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Si, Do, Di, Re, in that order. Okay, and like I said, that we use this to present, or yes, we use the letters are used to present a piece. Okay, now after knowing the note Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do, okay, before you even touch a guitar, another thing to note is to know your intervals. It's very, very important that you know your intervals. Actually, intervals is the distance between each note. Okay, in pitch, the distance in pitch between one note and another. For example, you've been hearing of Do to Re. Okay, so the distance between Do to Re is called interval. Okay, now this intervals comes in a half step. Okay, or you call this semitone. Now a tone takes in 2 intervals. A tone takes in 2 intervals. So from Do to Re is a tone. Okay, now a half tone or semitone, sorry, is a half of that, which is 1 interval. Okay, so now this interval, to explain it very simple, is they are the spaces in your fret board, your fret spaces. Okay, that is to tell you that from the open string to the second fret space is a whole tone. From the second to fourth is a whole tone. Fourth to fifth is a half or semitone. Okay, so you have that in that order. Now, the next thing for you to know is how these intervals work between um work using the notes. Okay, I apply this interval, I take this interval into notes. Okay, now we have seven notes, major notes. What is a note? A note, a note are the musical symbols used in presenting music. Musical symbols used in presenting music, and the symbols are do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Okay, so now these are the symbols used in presenting and representing a piece or music. Okay, so now from do to re is a whole tone or is a tone. From re to mi is a tone. Mi to fa is a half tone. Take that into note that mi to fa is a half tone. Fa to sol is a whole tone. Sol to la is a whole tone. La to mi is la to ti is a whole tone. Then ti to do is a half tone or semitone. Sorry. Okay, so that brings about when you see W W W S W W W S or H. Now the W stand for whole, then H stand for half, or you will see T T T S T T T T S. Okay, the T stand for tone, a whole tone, and the S is semitone. Okay, so that is naturally. Okay, now that is how notes are determined and intervals are determined. I've already said that from do to re is a whole tone, re to mi is a whole tone, mi to fa is a half, is a semitone, fa to sol is a whole tone, sol to la is a whole tone, la to ti is a whole. If you don't have one, you can use a keyboard to tune your guitar. Okay, now actually let me tell you about the name, your strings name first before we go into tuning your guitar. Now the name of the string is E. The first string is E, the second string is B, the third string is G, the fourth string is D, the fifth is A, and the last is E. Okay, so now what you do is, after putting your string, okay, now this guitar I'm using now has already been tuned, it's in tune. Okay, standard tuning. Okay, now but should your guitar is not in tune, what do? You ask, if you are using if you are using a tuning machine, okay, is for you to tight. If the string was weak or losing, you do what? You you increase it, you tight it. Okay, if it was over tune or tight, you do what? You dropped it. Okay, now you are dropping it. When you dropped it, there is an indicator in your tuning machine that tells you that when it shows green, it tells you that the string has been tuned to the key of what? E. If it shows you minus, it means that the string is lower, okay, in pitch than the required name or notes. So if it shows you plus, it tells you that the string is higher in pitch than the required notes. That is using a tuning machine. Okay, now using a keyboard, you ask the keyboardist or you press a key of E first. E. Now this has to do with your ear training. You have to be very sound. You have to take note of the notes that you are playing, the note of E. Okay, when you press the key E, you now tight this particular string now to that sound E. Okay, you do same to B, press B on the keyboard, then tight it to this sound B. Do same to G, you tight it to this sound G, and this. The rest of the strings you do same. That is how to tune your guitar. Okay. Now, the next thing for you to do is playing your notes, the re mi fa sol la ti do that you have already know. Okay. So now, how do you start? After keeping your guitar in tune, this is how it will sound. Okay. Tune it to this, tune it to this, tune it to this, tune it to this, tune it to this. So this is E sound, this is B sound, this is G sound, this is D sound, and this is A sound, and this is E high sound. Okay, so when getting that, the next thing for you to do is to play your notes. Actually, I'm going to show you, before talking about your notes or playing your notes, you have two hands. Okay, this is your fretting hand and this is your picking hand. Your left is is called fretting hand and your right is picking hand. Okay, so it is the right that you use to pick the string, while your left hand now hold the frets. Okay, playing the note on the frets. Now it's either you use pick, this is called pick or plectrum, to pick the strings, or you use your finger. Any of them is fine. Okay, so now in your fretting hand, you have your first finger, index, your second finger, ring finger, sorry, um your index, okay, your middle finger, your ring finger, and your pinky or your little finger. So this is your first finger, this is your second, this is your third, and this is your fourth. So take note of that. It's very, very important. Now each of these fingers will represent each of the fret spaces. Okay, irrespective of the strings that you are playing. Okay, for example, if I am to play any notes here, irrespective of the string, this finger here will be here, this one will be here, and this one will be here, this one will be here. Okay, so now that being said and done, let's go to the notes. Okay, so now I'm using a natural key of C. It appears naturally after after tuning your guitar. Keep your guitar in tune. Okay, and it appears naturally. So now if you want to play your do on C, you have to use your interval B. This is already B. Okay, like I said, that B to C appears what? A half. So to appear a half is after B is C. Okay, this is the second string here. The second string is B. So the open string is B. Okay, so the next is C. Okay, now just take note of this. Now between B and C is an interval. An interval is a semitone. So you have B and C. Now between C to D is a tone which takes two interval. So you have do re. Okay, I just want to use this single string. After that, I'll give you the notes or the scale on the C. okay, that involves all the strings. So you have re to mi, which is a whole tone. You can see that. Now mi to fa is semitone, fa to so is a whole tone, so to la is a whole tone, la to ti is a whole tone. Now ti to do is a semitone, a half. Okay, a tone all a whole step. Take that into note that. So now next thing for you to do is the notes of the key of C, the note of C. Okay, now I'm using this neck now to play this note, so take note of them. This is the notes using the first three fret space, 1 and 2 and 3. Okay, now I'm playing all the major scale. Okay, do re mi fa sol la ti do on the key of C now. So the first is what? So mind the finger I'm using and mind the string. You have so, you have fa, you have mi, open. You have re on the third fret space. You have do on the first fret space. You have ti, open. You have la on the second fret space. And you have so, open. You have fa on the third fret space. You have mi on the second fret space. You have re, open. You have do on the third fret space. Ti on the second fret space, fifth string. La, open. So on the third, then fa and mi. So you have now, you have to mind the finger I'm using. I'm not just using any finger. Okay, I'm using only these three fingers. The reason being that the finger that would have played the notes that you have here is open string. So if I now sharp this key now, I will use the four spaces available for me. Okay, so that is why I'm using the three fingers, because of the open notes here. So I play that again. You have so, fa, you have mi, you have re, you have do, you have ti, la, so, fa, mi, re, do, ti, la, so, fa, mi. So this is your key of C note. Do, re, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Now actually the last that I am to talk about is intervals. Now remember that intervals takes in, it will be 12. Why? The spaces between a whole tone, which is why do I always call a whole tone a whole step? The spaces between a whole step or a tone is from do to re, you have a space between. So this is where you have the word accidentals. Okay, accidentals, where you have C sharp to D, or D flat to C. Is a sharp when you are moving forward, when you are going up the fret space, and it's flat when you are going down. For example, if you start on the C, when you are going down, because B and C appears in a half step, so you have C, B. Okay, but after B to A, which is T to La, appears in a whole step. Okay, so there is a space left. So this space left now is B flat. Okay, because I'm going down to what? To A. The same thing to A, La and So. A to G. La is A, G is So. So you have A to G is a whole tone. It's a whole step. Sorry, not a whole tone. It's a tone, a whole step. So here you have a note here, which is A flat to what? To G. The same thing from G to F. You have G to G, G flat to F. Now, if you are going F to F sharp to G, G, G sharp to A. Okay, I hope you understand that. So these are the things and the first thing for you to do as a beginner guitar player. So I hope everything, every details here is well explained. Do well to ask question, do well to comment and ask question on what you don't understand, so that we should talk more. And I will be glad to see you in our next class. Have a nice time. Thank you.